Have you ever wondered how to age gracefully without becoming a burden to your loved ones? Imagine enjoying your golden years with vibrant health, meaningful companionship, and financial security all on your terms. In this video, we uncover the 3 pillars of a secure and happy old age that go beyond the usual advice. You'll hear inspiring real-life stories and gain actionable insights on how to build a foundation for your happiness and independence. Stay tuned until the end to discover the essential strategies that will empower you to take control of your future and live a fulfilling, worry-free life as you age. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Part 1. The 3 pillars of a secure and happy old age. It's a common belief, one passed down through generations, that as we grow old, we should rely on our children. Many think that after dedicating a lifetime of love, energy, and sacrifice to raising them, the natural order is for them to take on the responsibility of caring for us. It's a beautiful, heartfelt notion, but in reality, it's not always that simple. While our children may love us dearly, they have their own lives to lead, their battles to fight, and their own families to care for. As much as they may want to, they can't always be by our side every step of the way. This realization can be heart-wrenching. It's tough to accept that the ones we held in our arms as babies, the ones we nurtured and watched grow, might not always be able to take care of us in our twilight years. But we must face this truth not with bitterness, but with wisdom and grace. To truly live a peaceful, happy old age, we must take control of our future by creating a strong foundation for ourselves, a foundation built upon 3 vital, unshakable pillars. These pillars are more than just practical steps. They are emotional lifelines, sources of strength and independence. We must nurture them in ourselves to ensure we don't fall into a space of loneliness or helplessness. Let's not wait for anyone else to secure our happiness. Instead, let us empower ourselves with the tools we need to live with dignity and peace in the years to come. Because at the end of the day, while love from our children is a blessing, our happiness and security are responsibilities we must carry within ourselves. In building these pillars, we are not just protecting our future, we are gifting ourselves the peace of mind that no matter what comes our way, we have the strength and the resources to handle it. Let's embrace this journey with courage, and with the belief that a truly happy old age is one where we can stand strong on our own 2 feet, feeling secure in the life we've built for ourselves. Firstly, health. Above all else, health is paramount. We often hear people say that saving up a lot of money will guarantee a free, abundant life in old age. But this belief overlooks a crucial truth: without health, all the money in the world becomes meaningless. The age-old saying, health is wealth, resonates through every stage of life, but especially as we grow older. When we're young, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle of work, constantly striving for success and material achievements. In the process, we often neglect our bodies, trading our well-being for what we believe to be more important at the time: career advancement, financial security, or even recognition. But as time passes and our bodies begin to show the signs of wear and tear, we realize that no amount of wealth can buy back the vitality we once sacrificed. Suddenly, we would give up everything to reclaim our health. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Unfortunately, many people don't come to this realization until it's too late, until their bodies are already failing them. The truth is, waiting until old age to start worrying about your health is a grave mistake. Our health isn't something that can be stored away for the future. It needs to be nurtured every single day. A healthy body is the foundation of a joyful and fulfilling life, even more so than financial riches. What good is wealth if we are constantly in pain, struggling to perform even the simplest of daily tasks? How can we enjoy the fruits of our labor if we are too sick or weak to move, or worse, reliant on others for even basic care? As we age, our bodies naturally become more vulnerable, and even if our children are loving and devoted, the harsh reality is that they may not always have the time, energy, or resources to provide the level of care we need. No parent wants to feel like a burden, and being in poor health can bring about feelings of guilt or helplessness. Knowing that your loved ones must rearrange their lives to care for you. Taking care of our health is, in many ways, the greatest gift we can give to ourselves and to those we love. It allows us to retain our independence, our dignity, and our ability to contribute meaningfully to the lives of our family and community. It's important to cultivate a deep understanding of your body, to recognize its needs, and to treat it with respect. Make the time to exercise, eat nourishing foods, and prioritize rest. These simple acts of self-care can be the difference between spending your later years confined by illness or living each day with energy, vitality, and a sense of purpose. Don't underestimate the power of a healthy body. It not only extends the quality of your life, but it keeps your spirit youthful, no matter your age. Health is not just about physical strength, it's the key to living with joy, mobility, and freedom. Taking care of your health is a responsibility that starts now, because it's not just about you, it's about making sure you can be there for your loved ones without becoming a source of worry. It's about giving yourself the best chance at a vibrant, happy, and fulfilling old age, where every day is lived to the fullest. Secondly, a lifetime partner. As we journey into the later stages of life, there's no denying that one of the greatest sources of joy comes from sharing our accomplishments, milestones, and everyday moments with our children and grandchildren. Their presence fills our hearts with warmth and pride. But while this connection is beautiful, it's only a part of the story. Even as we age, we remain individuals with our own emotional needs, desires, and longing for love, understanding, and companionship. The truth is, no matter how old we are, the need for a partner, someone who truly knows us, stands beside us, and provides comfort is irreplaceable. There's a saying, caring for a spouse is worth more than caring for a child. And this becomes increasingly true for couples who are fortunate enough to age together. The caregiving that takes place between lifelong partners goes far beyond the practical aspects of cooking meals or helping each other get around. It's about a deep, unspoken understanding, the kind of connection that only comes from having shared decades of memories, challenges, and triumphs together. It's the quiet reassurance that, through all the changes life brings, someone is there who truly sees you, who understands your fears, and who can make you feel cherished even in your most vulnerable moments. But what if life hasn't blessed you with the chance to grow old with a partner? Some find themselves alone in old age after the heartbreaking loss of a spouse, and no matter how much financial security or familial support they have, it doesn't quite fill the void. The ache of loneliness in old age can be profound, especially when you've experienced what it's like to share your life with someone. The story of Saren Dehano perfectly illustrates this feeling. After losing his beloved wife almost 20 years ago, he dedicated himself to raising his children alone. Now, in his later years, even though he has the love of his children and financial stability, the absence of his wife leaves a palpable emptiness in his heart. However, through a chance encounter at a local community club, Saren met Laura. Despite their advanced age, they found in each other the companionship they had been missing, a new chance at shared joy and mutual understanding. But Saren's desire to marry Lasra was met with strong opposition from his children, who feared societal judgment and potential financial complications. This situation is all too common and highlights a deep, often overlooked truth about growing old. The need for companionship, for love, is as vital in old age as it is in youth. And yet, this need is frequently misunderstood or even ignored by families who believe that the love of children and grandchildren should be enough. But it isn't enough. Having a partner by your side in old age isn't just about comfort, it's about fulfillment. It's about having someone to share the small, precious moments with, someone to talk to at the end of the day, someone who can understand the fears and joys that only come with having lived a full life. Children, as devoted as they may be, cannot fill this space. They have their own lives and their own families, and they will never be able to offer the same kind of companionship that a loving partner can. In truth, having a partner in old age is a gift, a source of strength and support that can lift you through difficult times and add light to the good ones. It's not about avoiding loneliness just for the sake of it. It's about continuing to live with joy, with someone who can truly share your days. A partner in old age is not just a companion. They are a mirror of your own experiences, someone who walks this final chapter with you, helping you feel complete. We must acknowledge this need not just for ourselves, but also for our loved ones, recognizing that the desire for companionship, love, and understanding is timeless. A lifetime partner is, indeed, one of the most valuable pillars of a happy and secure old age. Lastly, financial security. In our youth, it's often said that money isn't everything. We are full of energy, opportunities seem endless, and the challenges we face can often be overcome with hard work, creativity, or simply the resilience of youth. But as we grow older, the reality shifts dramatically. Financial security, once something we could take lightly, becomes not just important, but essential. The truth is, we can navigate the ups and downs of life without much money when we're younger. But in old age, financial resources are the foundation upon which our peace of mind, independence, and even our health rest. As we age, our bodies inevitably weaken, and illnesses become more frequent visitors. Suddenly, the cost of healthcare, medications, and even the simplest comforts can feel overwhelming if we don't have the financial means to support ourselves. Some are fortunate enough to have pensions or savings that they've diligently built over the years, but not everyone has had the opportunity or the foresight to accumulate these resources. For those who lack financial security, the burden often falls onto their children, and while our children may love us dearly, it's important to remember that they may have their own families to support, or they may be nearing retirement themselves, facing their financial pressures. This situation can breed stress, resentment, and a sense of helplessness, especially when neither party feels fully in control. Financial security in old age is not just about money, it's about maintaining your dignity, your independence, and your ability to live life on your terms. Having savings or a pension gives you the ability to take care of your health, cover unexpected medical expenses, and enjoy life's small pleasures without the constant worry of being a burden to your children. It provides a sense of safety that allows you to move through your later years with confidence, knowing that you can provide for yourself, and if needed, hire help or secure proper care. Imagine the peace of mind that comes from knowing you won't have to rely on others, or worse, that you won't be at the mercy of someone else's generosity or circumstances. Without financial security, old age can easily turn into a time of anxiety, dependence, and lost dignity, where even the simplest joys may be out of reach. We hear stories of older people being mistreated or neglected, and too often these heartbreaking situations stem from financial dependency. When you don't have the resources to take care of yourself, you are forced to rely on others who may not always have the best intentions or the ability to provide the care you deserve. A parent who truly loves their children prepares for old age in a way that ensures they won't become a source of overwhelming responsibility. Financial planning is an act of love, not just for yourself, but for your children. It's about saying, I've taken care of my future so that you don't have to worry. It ensures that, even as you age, you have the means to maintain your freedom, your comfort, and your peace of mind. You won't need to ask for help with every little thing, and you'll have the ability to make decisions about your care, whether that's hiring help or paying for medical treatments. The importance of financial security in old age cannot be overstated. Without it, even the smallest challenges can feel insurmountable, and the weight of dependence can create emotional strain on both you and your children. But with it, you can live your golden years free from the constant worry of money, free from the fear of being a burden, and full of the joy that comes from knowing you are in control of your destiny. In many traditional Asian cultures, there's always been a strong emphasis on children being the primary caregivers and financial support for their elderly parents. It's a beautiful tradition, rooted in respect and love. But the world we live in today is changing. Children are not always able to be there in the way they once were, and it's time to adopt a more proactive approach, one that reflects the reality of modern life. Many developed countries have embraced this shift, with individuals planning their financial futures in a way that ensures their independence in old age. It's not about being less connected to your family, it's about being empowered to live with dignity, without placing undue strain on those you love most. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 5 below to let me know that you love me. Dear friends, financial security in old age is not just a matter of wealth. It's a matter of love, foresight, and responsibility. Let's prepare ourselves, not just for the sake of our well-being, but for the peace of mind of our children, allowing us to enjoy the time we have with them without worry or fear. In doing so, we can ensure that our later years are truly a time of peace, joy, and fulfillment. Part 2. If your spouse dies first, the smartest way to live is to say no to 3 things. Have you ever stopped to wonder how you would manage if you lost your spouse? Life has a way of throwing us into situations we never imagined, and the loss of a life partner can leave a void so deep that it feels almost impossible to move forward. The person who shared your hopes, your dreams, your laughter, and your heart is gone, and the world may feel cold and empty without them. How do you go on when the person who was your source of strength, your other half, is no longer there? This is a question no one ever wants to face, but for many, it becomes an unavoidable reality. But what if there were secrets to not just surviving, but thriving after such an unspeakable loss? What if, instead of sinking into grief, you could find a way to embrace life with renewed purpose and hope? You are not alone in this journey. Many have walked this difficult path before you, and their stories offer profound lessons on how to rebuild, how to heal, and how to honor the love you shared while still finding happiness. Let us embark on this journey together as we uncover the inspiring stories of 3 individuals who have navigated this heart-wrenching experience and emerged stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Life, as we know, is unpredictable. None of us can say with certainty how long we will have the privilege of holding the hand of the one we love. The truth is, each day with a partner is a gift, and sometimes that gift is taken from us far too soon. Misaki, a woman who lost her husband in her 60s, once said, "Life is like a train, and everyone can only accompany you for part of the journey. When they have to get off, you should be grateful because you've had wonderful moments together." Her words resonate deeply because they remind us that while love is precious, it is also fleeting. If someone is fortunate enough to accompany you for your entire journey, that is truly a rare blessing. But for many, the reality is that illness, accidents, or other tragedies take our loved ones away before we are ready to say goodbye. When a spouse passes, the world around you changes. The house that was once filled with laughter and companionship suddenly feels unbearably quiet. Life itself can seem to lose its anchor, as though your very foundation has been shaken. It is in these moments that grief consumes us, and the overwhelming sadness threatens to swallow us whole. And yet, as much as it feels like time should stop, it doesn't. The clock keeps ticking, and the world keeps spinning. No matter how deeply we mourn, the truth is that the deceased will not come back to life. We are left with a choice: to remain stuck in the past, or to find the strength to move forward. But how do you move forward? How do you live well after such a devastating loss? 3 remarkable individuals, all of whom have lived through the heartbreak of losing their spouses, have shared their experiences to offer guidance to those who may be walking this painful path. Their message is clear: to live a fulfilling and decent life after the loss of a spouse, you must have the courage to say no to 3 specific things. These 3 refusals are not just about avoiding mistakes. They are about preserving your dignity, your happiness, and your independence in your final years. The first lesson they offer is to say no to isolating yourself. It can be tempting, after losing your spouse, to withdraw from the world and retreat into solitude. The weight of grief may make it feel easier to be alone, but isolation only deepens the sense of loss. Surround yourself with loved ones, friends, or even new acquaintances. Human connection, no matter how small, is a balm for the soul, and it's in these connections that we rediscover our capacity for joy. The second lesson is to say no to dwelling on the past. While it's natural to reflect on the memories you shared with your spouse, dwelling too long in those memories can trap you in a cycle of sorrow. Honor the past, but allow yourself to live in the present. Find new hobbies, explore new passions, and permit yourself to create new memories that can coexist with the ones you hold dear. The third, and perhaps most important lesson, is to say no to neglecting your well-being. Losing a spouse can often make you forget to take care of yourself, both physically and emotionally. But you deserve to live a life filled with health, peace, and happiness, even after they're gone. Pay attention to your health, keep your body active, and nourish your mind with positivity. By taking care of yourself, you not only honor your own life, but you also honor the love you shared with your spouse by continuing to live fully in their memory. As these individuals have shown us, losing a spouse is a tragedy, but it doesn't have to define the rest of your life. By refusing to fall into the traps of isolation, dwelling in the past, and neglecting self-care, you can build a life that is still filled with purpose, joy, and meaning. Life after loss can still be beautiful. It is not the end of your story, but the beginning of a new chapter. Dear friends, life's journey is unpredictable. You never know when the person you love most will have to leave. But by learning to navigate this journey with courage, gratitude, and wisdom, you can find hope even in the darkest of times. Let these stories of resilience inspire you to embrace the life ahead of you, knowing that love transcends even death, and the strength to live well lies within you. 1. Dive into excessive pain for too long. Imagine losing someone who has been by your side for most of your life, a partner whose presence was your source of strength, comfort, and love. The void left behind is indescribable, and the pain is relentless. Memories of happier times can offer brief solace, but they can also intensify the profound ache of loss. For many, the question becomes, how do you move forward when the one person you relied on is gone? How do you live in a world that suddenly feels empty? Callista's story is a heartbreaking yet powerful testament to human resilience. At 67 years old, she faced the unimaginable loss of her husband, the man who had been her life companion for decades. At first, the grief was all-consuming, and she found herself at a crossroads, sink into the depths of her pain or somehow find a way through it. Her journey is a deeply emotional one, filled with despair, but also with moments of realization and rediscovery. It's not just a story of sorrow, but of finding hope, purpose, and a renewed sense of life when everything seems lost. When I was 64, my husband died, Callista recalled, her voice still tinged with the sadness that had never fully left her. Every time I remember the moment he left, it's still hard to accept. Her grief was so overwhelming that she often felt like a walking corpse devoid of life, feeling as though everything she had lived for had lost its meaning. Many times I thought I could follow him, she admitted, her voice trembling with vulnerability. She described the long nights, lying awake in their once shared bed, now feeling unbearably vast and empty. The tears came easily, and they came often as she relived memories of their happy times together. The photos of them smiling, so full of life and joy, only deepened her sorrow. But it was in those very photos, in those very memories, that Callista found the smallest glimmer of hope. Maybe I should persist a little longer, she thought. The realization hit her slowly, but powerfully. Her husband, the man she loved so dearly, would never have wanted her to waste away in sorrow. No matter how sad I was, the tears wouldn't bring him back. And so Callista decided to honor his memory not by drowning in her grief, but by living well as he would have wanted. She understood that to find peace, she had to embrace life once more, not just for herself, but to let her husband's soul rest peacefully, knowing she was okay. Indeed, the separation of life and death is the saddest thing in the world, Callista reflected. But the dead are gone, and the living must continue. Her wisdom shines through in these words, a realization that while the past was beautiful, it couldn't be the place where she lived forever. She had to step into the present, to find joy in the world around her, and to open her heart to the possibilities of the future. This, she knew, wasn't just about her well-being, it was about finding a way to honor her husband's memory in a way that was filled with grace and strength. Callista's story is a poignant reminder that, after loss, it's essential not to let grief consume your entire existence. Of course, the pain will always be there, and it's natural to feel sad, but staying stuck in that pain for too long can rob you of the wow. Callista learned to console herself, to take care of her health, and to slowly adjust her mindset. She didn't deny the pain, but she refused to let it dominate her every moment. She found the courage to eat when she could, to take walks in the park, and to embrace the beauty of the world around her, even if it was experienced alone. Living alone after the death of a spouse doesn't mean giving up on life. On the contrary, it can become an opportunity to nurture your inner world, develop a deeper relationship with yourself, and enjoy solitude with the same grace you once shared with your partner. As Callista put it, learn to enjoy solitude as if you were savoring aged wine, letting the flavor deepen and grow richer. With time, solitude can be a space for reflection, for spiritual growth, and for finding joy in the little things. And when loneliness does creep in, it's important to reach out, whether to friends, family, or even new acquaintances. Talking, sharing stories, and connecting with others is a vital part of moving forward. Callista's experience teaches us that dealing with the loss of a lifelong partner is one of life's most painful trials. But it doesn't have to be the end of your story. Through resilience, self-compassion, and the willingness to live again, it's possible to find light in the darkest moments. Her message is clear: don't dive into excessive pain for too long. Grieve, but don't let the grief take over. Find hope, find strength, and most importantly, find a way to live with meaning, because that is the truest way to honor the love you've lost. Firstly, her experience reminds us that pain is universal, transcending age, origin, or culture. No matter where we come from or how old we are, the heartbreak of losing a loved one is a shared human experience. Callista's story is a poignant reminder that feeling deep sorrow and loneliness after such a loss is not only normal, but something that connects us all. In this understanding, there is a powerful sense of solace, knowing that others have walked this path, feeling the same emotions and grappling with similar struggles can help ease the burden of isolation. It reassures those in grief that they are not alone in their pain, but rather part of a larger, empathetic community of people who have experienced loss. Secondly, Callista's journey emphasizes the importance of resilience in the face of life's painful changes. Her story, while deeply emotional, is also one of hope. It shows that while loss can feel unbearable, there is a way to rebuild, to rediscover purpose, and to find meaning again. This message is crucial for anyone amid grief, as it offers the promise that while the pain may never fully disappear, there is a way forward. Callista didn't let her despair define the rest of her life. Instead, she chose to slowly embrace the possibility of joy, however small it seemed at first. Her journey tells others that healing is possible, and that life after loss can still be rich with satisfaction, even if it looks different than before. Additionally, her story highlights the importance of self-care and mental health during times of deep sorrow. When overwhelmed by grief, it's easy to neglect your physical and emotional well-being. Callista's decision to focus on her health by eating, exercising, and allowing herself to enjoy life's small pleasures shows the value of practical steps in the healing process. She reached out to friends, sought comfort and connection, and found ways to bring light back into her days, even if just through a simple walk or a shared conversation. Her actions encourage others to prioritize their well-being during dark times, to seek support, and to permit themselves to live again, even when it feels difficult. Moreover, Callista's experience speaks to the power of memories in the process of healing. She found comfort in looking at old photographs, revisiting the happy moments she shared with her husband. This practice of cherishing positive memories allowed her to honor their life together without being consumed by grief. It's a reminder that memories can be a source of strength, not just sadness. They serve as a bridge between the past and the present, giving us the ability to feel gratitude for what we have, while still moving forward with our own lives. In this way, memories become a tool for coping with loss, helping us keep our loved ones close without stopping our progress. Lastly, Callista's experience underscores the importance of living in the present and looking to the future. While it's natural and even necessary to cry and reminisce, her story teaches us the critical lesson of finding new sources of happiness and purpose. It's this balance between honoring what was and embracing what is that is essential for living a fulfilling life after loss. Callista understood that life cannot be spent entirely in the past. She knew that her husband wouldn't want her to stop living, so she made the conscious choice to find joy again, to create new memories, and to look toward the future with hope. This lesson resonates deeply, offering anyone in grief the encouragement they need to move forward, while still keeping their loved one's memory alive in their heart. Callista's journey is not just a story of loss, but a powerful reminder of how love, resilience, and hope can help us rise from the depths of despair to live fully once again. We don't overly depend on your children for the rest of your life. Have you ever wondered what it's really like for elderly parents living with their adult children? Is it a life filled with comfort and happiness, or does it sometimes lead to unexpected challenges and distress? The idea of mutual support between generations seems natural. We cared for our children when they were young, and in our later years they should care for us. But is this arrangement always what's best for everyone involved? In our story, 65-year-old widow Lasra Amber shares her heartfelt journey of moving in with her daughter after her husband's death. only to realize that true happiness and peace came when she chose to live alone again. Her experience offers a powerful lesson about the importance of independence in our golden years. Join us as we explore her story and discover why. Sometimes the best company you can have is your own. These are Lasra Amber's experiences in her own words. After my husband passed away, I moved in with my daughter and her family. I believed it was natural for parents and children to support each other. You cared for me when I was little, and now I'll accompany you in my old age. Initially, it felt like the right thing to do. My daughter had just given birth to my grandchild, and my son-in-law welcomed me into their home. At first, I was grateful for the comfort, and seeing my grandchild brought me immense joy. In many ways, I saw him as a reincarnation of my husband, and dedicated all my time and energy to helping around the house. But as time went on, things started to change. Laura recalls how, in the beginning, everything seemed harmonious. Her daughter and son-in-law appreciated her help, and she felt she had a purpose, especially in caring for her grandchild. However, as time passed, subtle shifts began to appear. They stopped giving me money for maintenance because I had my pension, and while that was okay, it soon became clear that my pension alone wasn't enough to support a family of 4. I raised this issue with my daughter, but her patience began to wear thin. There were days when she'd occasionally give me a little, but most of the time she pretended to forget. The once warm and loving environment gradually became tense, and small disagreements began to arise. As an older person, I probably talked too much, Laura admits, but sometimes I couldn't help but criticize my daughter's spending habits. I'd see her shopping online every day, and it bothered me because I knew she wasn't saving for the future. When it came to my grandchild's upbringing, we had different ideas too. I believed children needed discipline, but my daughter and son-in-law preferred to let them develop naturally. These differences in values slowly created a distance between them, and before long, her daughter and son-in-law spoke to her with less courtesy and respect. Laura soon realized that what had started as a mutually supportive arrangement had turned into something else entirely. It became clear that my presence, while once appreciated, was now a burden. They needed my help when my grandchild was small, but now they could manage without me. When Lasra proposed moving out and living alone, her daughter and son-in-law expressed that they would miss her, but deep down she could sense their relief. I knew they were happy to have their space back, and honestly, I was ready for a change too. Initially, living alone again was challenging for Laura. At first, I felt lost. The house was quiet, and I wasn't busy like I used to be. Without the constant hustle of caring for my grandchild or managing the household, life felt simple but also empty. However, in time she learned to embrace her newfound solitude. I started rediscovering interests I'd long forgotten about. I joined a calligraphy class, took up painting, and even became active in community groups. I made new friends, people with similar interests, and my days started to feel full again. Lasra's transition to living alone was a turning point in her life. I realized that this life of financial freedom, leisure, and independence was the kind of retirement I had always longed for. Even though I didn't know it at the time, I had spent so much energy caring for others, but now it was my time to live for myself. For the first time since my husband passed away, I felt like I was living the life I truly wanted. Laura Amber's story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of independence and self-sufficiency in our later years. While it may seem ideal for elderly parents to move in with their adult children, this arrangement often brings unexpected difficulties. Living together can blur boundaries and lead to tension, especially when there are differences in values, lifestyles, or expectations. Her experience underscores the value of maintaining autonomy in old age. It highlights how crucial it is to cultivate a life of your own, one that doesn't rely too heavily on your children. Independence allows you to live with dignity, pursue your interests, and avoid becoming a burden, something no parent ever wants to be. As life expectancy increases, more people will face the challenge of living alone after the death of a spouse. While the prospect may seem daunting at first, Lasra's story shows that independence can lead to a life of fulfillment, freedom, and true happiness. Ultimately, Lasra's journey teaches us that living with adult children isn't always the answer, and sometimes the best path to happiness is learning to stand on your own 2 feet. By finding purpose, joy, and community outside of her family, she discovered that the best company she could ever have was her own. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Firstly, living with children can generate conflicts due to generational differences. Laura Amber's story illustrates how differing opinions on matters such as finances, child rearing, and lifestyle choices can create tension in a household, regardless of culture or background. These generational clashes are not unique to any one country. In the United States, families frequently encounter similar challenges, where the older generation's desire to maintain independence can conflict with younger family members' expectations or approaches to daily life. The struggle between wanting to support one another and the need for personal autonomy can lead to misunderstandings, creating a less harmonious living environment than initially expected. Secondly, the feeling of being a burden can be emotionally exhausting. Lasra's experience of feeling unappreciated after dedicating years to her daughter's household is a common emotional challenge for elderly parents. When their efforts go unnoticed or taken for granted, it can lead to feelings of resentment, sadness, and even depression. In cultures like the United States, where independence is highly prized, the idea of being a burden on one's children can be particularly difficult to cope with. Parents may feel conflicted, caught between wanting to help their children and fearing that their presence might be an inconvenience. This emotional toll can erode the sense of self-worth and lead to a sense of isolation within the very home they're trying to support. Thirdly, finding personal fulfillment is essential for a happy and healthy retirement. Laura Amber's story highlights the importance of rediscovering personal hobbies, interests, and community connections. After choosing to live alone again, she found joy in her solitude through calligraphy, painting, and making new friends. Her journey serves as a reminder that maintaining personal independence and staying socially active is crucial for emotional well-being. In the United States, many retirees find fulfillment through community centers, clubs, and volunteer work. These activities not only provide a sense of purpose, but also combat loneliness, fostering a more satisfying and engaged life. Staying active and pursuing personal interests are key components of a fulfilling retirement, as they offer opportunities to build new connections and find joy in the everyday. The risks of remarrying in your golden years. Laura Kelly's story. Are you considering finding a new partner or remarrying later in life? Before taking that step, listen to Laura Kelly's story. At 62, she thought she had found love again after the death of her first husband, only to face unexpected challenges and heartbreak. Her experience is a cautionary tale for anyone thinking of remarrying in their golden years. Join us as we explore the risks and realities of new marriages and old age through Lasra's journey. You may find valuable insights that could save you from future regrets. Laura Kelly, now 62, had already gone through one marriage. Her first husband tragically passed away when she was 53. For years, she mourned his loss, feeling deeply sad and lost. "My son was worried about me," she recalls. "He wanted me to live with him, but I didn't want to be a burden instead of moving in with her son." Laura sought solace through activities like joining a dance class and a poetry group. It was during this time that she met Sergeant G. Initially, they were just acquaintances, but after an accident where she twisted her ankle, the sergeant stepped in to help her, taking her to the hospital and assisting her at home while she recovered. Their relationship blossomed quickly, and within 2 months, the sergeant proposed marriage. Though Lasra hesitated at first, she eventually said yes after discussing it with her son. Her son, while supportive, advised her to take things slowly, but she didn't heed the warning. "I thought if the sergeant was good to me, that's all that mattered," she said. At first, everything seemed fine. They got along well, and although she took care of all the household chores, she didn't mind after all. She was used to it. But soon after, conflicts began to surface. When 3 of her old friends invited her on a trip, Lasra accepted without hesitation. However, the sergeant was displeased. "He told me no one else would do the chores if I went," she remembers, "and it felt so unfair they hired someone to help with the sopan." But the argument left a bitter taste in her mouth. "He said hurtful things, implying that I was useless without doing the chores." The marriage continued to unravel when the sergeant's son divorced, leaving them with a grandchild to care for. Laura, initially eager to help, quickly found herself overwhelmed. The grandchild was spoiled, picky, and difficult to handle. When she suggested the child's father take over some responsibilities, the sergeant reacted harshly, saying, "You are not my grandchild's mother, so don't interfere. If you can't handle it, stay out of it." Feeling disrespected and marginalized, Lasra realized that remarrying at this age came with more challenges than she had anticipated. She was never fully accepted into the sergeant's family, and after months of tension, she decided to file for divorce. Living alone can be lonely, Laura reflects, but it's better than dealing with so many problems. Her story serves as a warning. While finding companionship later in life can be appealing, it's important to carefully consider the dynamics of the new relationship and the potential complexities that come with blending families. Rushing into marriage without fully understanding the challenges can lead to disappointment, frustration, and even heartbreak. Laura Kelly's journey offers a valuable lesson. Remarrying in your golden years is not a decision to be taken lightly. While companionship is important, it's crucial to ensure that the new relationship brings peace and support rather than more problems. Living alone may come with its own set of challenges, but for Lasra, it was ultimately a path to greater freedom, independence, and emotional well-being. Laura Kelly's story highlights the complexities and potential pitfalls of remarrying later in life, providing valuable insight for those considering a new marriage in their golden years. Firstly, the challenge of blending deeply ingrained habits and viewpoints is often underestimated. After decades of living independently or in previous marriages, older individuals may have routines, preferences, and expectations that have become a part of their identity. This rigidity can make adapting to a new partner's lifestyle difficult. As was the case with Laura, she experienced significant conflict over household responsibilities and personal freedom, such as travel, which led to frustration and tension in her marriage to Sergeant J. Unlike younger couples, who may be more flexible and willing to compromise, older couples can struggle to adjust to a new dynamic, especially when it disrupts long-established ways of living. Secondly, acceptance by the new partner's family can be a considerable hurdle. Laura found herself unexpectedly burdened with the responsibility of caring for Sergeant J's grandchild, a role she wasn't fully prepared to take on. The lack of cooperation and support from her new husband's family created an environment of tension, which only exacerbated the existing difficulties in the marriage. When family members are not accepting or respectful, it can make it even harder for the relationship to thrive. The challenge of merging families, especially with adult children or grandchildren, adds another layer of complexity to later life marriages. Emotional preparedness is also a crucial factor that cannot be overlooked. The loss of a spouse can leave a person feeling vulnerable, lonely, and fearful of the future. In this state, it's easy to rush into a new relationship in search of companionship, as Lasra did. However, such a quick decision can lead to overlooking potential warning signs or incompatibilities. Despite her son's advice to take things slowly, Lasra allowed her emotions to guide her into a hasty marriage, which ultimately ended in disappointment and another painful divorce. This highlights the importance of emotional healing and reflection before entering into a new relationship. Taking time to understand one's own needs, desires, and expectations can prevent the rush into a situation that may not be fulfilling in the long term. Lastly, financial complications are a common issue in marriages later in life. While Laura Kelly's story doesn't dive deeply into this aspect, it's an important consideration for anyone remarrying at an advanced age. Questions surrounding inheritance, medical care decisions, and the division of assets can become contentious, particularly when family members are involved. These financial matters can create stress and strain, further complicating the relationship. It's essential to address these issues transparently and honestly with a new partner before marriage to ensure both parties are on the same page about their financial future. Part 3. Nursing homes are not a choice in the Golden Age. The twilight years are often portrayed as a time of peace, reflection, and well-deserved rest after a life filled with work, family, and responsibilities. However, for many older adults, the question of where to spend these years can be filled with uncertainty and anxiety. The decision to stay in the family home, move in with loved ones, or transition to a nursing home carries emotional weight and practical considerations. While the traditional ideal of aging gracefully within the family home remains a cherished concept, it is becoming increasingly clear that this model may not be suitable for everyone. As life expectancy rises and families become more dispersed, nursing homes have emerged as a popular alternative, but is it the right choice for everyone? The decision to move into a nursing home is one that many older adults and their families wrestle with. On the one hand, nursing homes offer professional care, medical support, and a structured environment that ensures the needs of elderly residents are met. For individuals dealing with chronic illness, mobility issues, or cognitive decline, the services provided by nursing homes can be invaluable. Around-the-clock care and the presence of trained staff can relieve families of the burden of caregiving, which, while rewarding, can be overwhelming and physically exhausting. In many cases, family members may not have the time, resources, or expertise to provide the level of care that their loved one requires. For older adults without nearby family or a robust support network, a nursing home can also offer much-needed social interaction. Loneliness and isolation are common issues among the elderly, particularly those who live alone. Nursing homes provide a community of peers with whom residents can share meals, participate in activities, and form friendships. This social engagement can have a profound impact on emotional well-being, helping residents maintain a sense of connection and purpose in their golden years. For some, the communal aspect of nursing homes can turn what could have been a lonely and isolating experience into one filled with companionship and new friendships. However, the transition to a nursing home is not always easy. For many, the thought of leaving behind their home, the place where they raised their family, celebrated milestones, and built a lifetime of memories, can be emotionally devastating. The loss of independence that often accompanies moving into a nursing home can be difficult to cope with. For those who value their autonomy and prefer to live on their terms, the structured environment of a nursing home may feel restrictive. Even with the best care, the psychological adjustment to living in a communal setting, sharing space with strangers, and adhering to institutional routines can be overwhelming. Moreover, nursing homes can be expensive. The cost of care in many facilities can quickly drain savings, leaving families struggling to cover the high expenses. This is particularly concerning for those who didn't plan financially for long-term care. While some nursing homes accept insurance or government assistance, not all facilities are covered, and many families find themselves making difficult financial decisions. In some cases, the high cost of nursing home care can lead to tension and guilt within families, as they weigh the financial burden against the health and well-being of their elderly loved ones. For those considering a nursing home, it's crucial to thoroughly research facilities, evaluating not just the quality of care, but also the environment and culture. Each nursing home is unique, and it's important to find one that aligns with the needs, preferences, and values of the individual. Visiting in person, speaking with staff, and even meeting with current residents can provide valuable insight into whether the facility will be a good fit. A nursing home that fosters dignity, respect, and community can make all the difference in transforming this phase of life into a positive and fulfilling it to a positive. On the other hand, many older adults and their families are exploring alternatives to nursing homes, opting for in-home care, assisted living communities, or multi-generational living arrangements. In-home care allows individuals to remain in their familiar surroundings while receiving professional assistance with daily tasks, medical needs, or companions. This option preserves independence while ensuring that help is available when needed. Assisted living communities, which offer a middle ground between nursing homes and independent living, provide support with daily activities while still offering privacy and autonomy. These communities often have a more relaxed atmosphere than nursing homes, and allow residents to live in apartments or private rooms, fostering a sense of independence. For those fortunate enough to have strong family bonds and willing caregivers, multi-generational living can be an ideal solution. Moving in with adult children or relatives allows for a close-knit support system where care is provided within the family unit. However, as mentioned earlier in Lasser Amber's story, living with family can also lead to conflicts, stress, and a loss of independence. So it's important to approach this option with open communication and clear expectations on both sides. Ultimately, the decision of whether to move into a nursing home or explore other alternatives depends on a variety of factors: health, finances, family dynamics, and personal preferences. Some older adults may thrive in the structured environment of a nursing home, finding comfort in the community and professional care it provides. Others may prefer to remain in their homes, surrounded by familiar belongings and memories, with the support of in-home care. There is no one-size-fits-all solution, and families need to have open, honest discussions about the needs and desires of their elderly loved ones. As we age, the idea of where to spend our final years becomes increasingly important. It's not just a practical decision, but an emotional one that impacts not only the individual but their family as well. Whether choosing a nursing home, in-home care, or an alternative living arrangement, the goal should always be to ensure comfort, dignity, and fulfillment in these golden years. After all, this stage of life, like every other, deserves to be lived with as much joy and purpose as possible. Advantages of nursing homes. One of the primary advantages of nursing homes is the 24-hour care they provide, particularly for older adults with chronic health conditions or mobility issues. Having medical professionals and trained staff available around the clock can be invaluable in ensuring that residents' health needs are met. Whether it's managing medications, providing physical therapy, or addressing sudden medical emergencies, the constant supervision and access to care offer peace of mind for both residents and their families. Knowing that a loved one is in a safe environment where health complications can be addressed immediately alleviates the anxiety that it often comes with caring for an aging family member. In addition to medical care, nursing homes foster a sense of community and social engagement, which is essential for combating the loneliness and isolation that many older adults face. Social interaction is critical for mental and emotional well-being, and nursing homes offer structured opportunities for residents to stay connected with others. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. Through organized activities such as games, arts and crafts, exercise classes, and group outings, residents can build friendships and stay mentally and physically active. Shared spaces, like dining rooms and lounges, create informal settings for casual conversations, making it easier for residents to form bonds with their peers. This social aspect of nursing homes can provide a sense of belonging and purpose, significantly improving the quality of life for residents. Furthermore, nursing homes alleviate the burden on family members who may not be equipped to provide the level of care their loved ones need. Many families find it challenging to balance caregiving with other responsibilities, such as work, raising children, or managing their health concerns. In these situations, nursing homes offer professional care that ensures the residents' needs are met without overwhelming the family. This allows family members to focus on maintaining a positive, emotionally fulfilling relationship with their loved one, without the stress and strain that full-time caregiving can bring. With the heavy lifting of daily care handled by trained professionals, families can enjoy their time together and provide emotional support rather than feeling exhausted by caregiving duties. Challenges and considerations. The decision to move into a nursing home, while often necessary, is not without its challenges and considerations. One of the most significant challenges for older adults is the loss of independence and privacy. For many, leaving the comfort and familiarity of their home, where they have lived for decades, can feel like a profound loss. Adjusting to a shared living space, especially one with structured schedules and communal areas, can be emotionally overwhelming, even in the most accommodating nursing homes. This transition requires not only physical relocation, but also a psychological adjustment, as residents must adapt to new routines in the presence of others in their personal space. Financial concerns are another major factor to consider. Nursing home care can be incredibly expensive, and while some facilities accept Medicaid or long-term care insurance, others may be out of reach for many families. The cost of care can vary significantly depending on location, the level of medical attention required, and the amenities offered. For families without sufficient financial resources, this can create a substantial burden, forcing difficult decisions about how to fund long-term care. This financial strain can affect not only the older person but also their family, who may feel pressured to contribute to the costs, potentially sacrificing their financial security. Moreover, the quality of care in nursing homes can vary dramatically from one facility to another. While many nursing homes offer excellent care, there are also those with subpar standards. It is essential to thoroughly research each facility before making a decision. Families should investigate the staff-to-resident ratio, the cleanliness and maintenance of the environment, the variety and quality of activities available to residents, and the overall atmosphere of the home. Visiting facilities in person and reading reviews can provide insight into whether a particular nursing home is a good fit. It's also crucial to consider the nursing home's reputation and record of care. By choosing carefully, families can avoid potential issues like neglect, understaffing, or inadequate medical attention. The individual health status and social needs of the older person also play a pivotal role in this decision. If the person is in relatively good health, has an active social life, and values independence, alternative options like staying at home with the help of in-home care or transitioning to an assisted living facility might be more suitable. Assisted living offers more freedom and privacy while still providing essential support with daily tasks. However, for those with complex health needs or who lack a strong social support system, a nursing home may provide the safe and structured environment they require. It is vital to involve the older person in the decision-making process as much as possible. Open, respectful, and honest communication is essential to ensure that their voice is heard and their preferences are considered. Discuss their health status, financial situation, social needs, and personal desires. Understanding what they value most in their living situation, whether it's medical care, privacy, or social opportunities, can guide the family in making the most appropriate choice. When older adults are included in these decisions, they are more likely to feel empowered and less anxious about the transition. Ultimately, the decision to move into a nursing home is significant, with both emotional and practical considerations to weigh. While nursing homes offer numerous benefits such as professional care, social interaction, and a secure environment, they also come with challenges, including adjusting to a new environment, potential financial pressures, and variability in the quality of care. By thoroughly researching options, involving the older person in the conversation, and thoughtfully considering both their current and future needs, families can make informed choices that ensure a comfortable and fulfilling life for their loved ones during their golden years. As we've explored, the decision to move into a nursing home, maintain independence, or pursue other living arrangements in later life is deeply personal and complex. From understanding the advantages of nursing homes, such as professional care and social engagement, to acknowledging the emotional and financial challenges that come with these decisions, it's clear that there's no one-size-fits-all solution. So, what have you learned from this discussion? We invite you to share your thoughts below. What's one lesson you've learned from this video, and how will you bring it into practice in your life? Whether it's prioritizing your independence, planning financially, or involving loved ones in important decisions, we'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insights on living your best life in your golden years.